Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Great Expectations. I'm here with Sarah today. Just Sarah. How are you today,
This
Sarah?
Sarah. I'm okay. How are you?
I'm also okay.
hmm
hmm
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
another episode.
Another episode of Crate, and there keeps not being any news or anything to talk about.
Yeah, there's nothing. Show's over.
All right, goodbye. Other than the the weird slug thing that just had a kit released, we have a lot of things to talk about. Actually, what are we
Mhm.
talking about today, Sarah?
So they had the title update happen last week. Jabba got his kit released, like you said. Um, that's basically all the news. Still no relic update.
But we got a thing that said that there is a relic update.
An update on the relic update.
Yeah,
Yeah,
about the eventual relic update.
yeah.
hmm
So that's good, I guess.
Is it?
I don't know. Why would you? I'm not even gonna get into it. Um, yeah, so there's a little bit of news, and then we can do our usual character review. And you've got a lovely triggering photo for me.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful. It's something that triggered me. Actually, I sent it to you because I was triggered.
Yeah, I don't
And just
blame
for the
you.
record, sometimes we say trigger more than we ought to because there's at least one person who's like, stop saying triggered so much.
So you could say that that you have a finger for it.
I, I was just gonna say it triggers them, which is fun.
Mm.
Like being triggered by the word trigger, it's good. Uh, but yeah, they're probably downvoted and unsubbed by now, so we could probably stop.
So we can move on.
Yep.
Okay. What do you want to start with?
Oh gosh. So why don't we talk about how I was wrong last episode?
You were wrong last episode.
Most episodes I am, Sarah.
Ah, but this time you really were. To be
I
honest,
well,
I was surprised that you were wrong.
you're being ungracious enough that I'll just say I'm usually wrong in episodes, but you usually can't tell. So,
Hmm. Hmm. Weird.
hmm.
So you were wrong because the mod calibration micro attenuators are in game now, and we can
Yep.
farm them.
Yeah, I was wrong, and I stand by what I said before. I honestly, so yeah, I said that I thought that they were going to be in packs. I thought they were going to be as rewards, but we weren't going to get them farmable instantly. I don't know what thing has ever come into the game where we were instantly able to farm it, just like the second it came out, ever. Like, I mean, I've said it before.
Omicrons.
Like, I would make the argument that Omicrons aren't farmable. Actually, not truly.
Okay, that's fair.
Like, if someone wanted to spend like all their money to get Omicrons, like to farm Omicrons, they would still like. There's a decent chance that I would just outpace them on Omicrons, anyways.
Right. Um. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. But I don't know about you, but the drop rate for them has not been not Omicrons, the attenuator, whatever things has not been super awesome for me.
I mean, super like, yeah, we get a couple of them sometimes.
Yeah. So, but they
I
are
mean,
there.
you also have to spend more than just the energy you get. You have to refresh to be able to get more of them too. So
I mean, that's the same with Omicrons.
sure,
It's the same with
sure,
anything in the game.
sure. I'm just saying you've maybe had less of a sample size. That's all.
Hmm.
So, anyways, I like attenuators okay-ish. I don't know. You're right. The drop rate hasn't been such that I'm like, oh, I could just do this all the time. Like I just see it as a side game, honestly.
Um, yeah. I mean, the thing that I've already noticed with them is it's making me be really critical about which mods I'm using them on, but it's also making me be even more critical about which mods I want to take to 6 dots.
Okay.
So, because like now I'm looking at them more from a standpoint of not just speed, but like what are the other secondaries on there so that if I were to calibrate, would I be okay with something else rolling versus just chasing speed?
Right. Well, and realistically, you only get two rerolls with the thing. Like after that, they just price you out.
Right.
Yeah, I have to wonder how much the Krakens are spending
Yeah.
because there's the packs right now that are just like, hey, you get a gamble pack, you get as many as you want, you just spend all your money.
Mm-hmm. Reslice your mods.
Yep, or like redo every single part of every single mod. Like I've seen a few accounts that were like already destroying me on mods, and now I'm just like, it's not that noticeable if you compare it to mine because it was like already nothing versus a lot, you know.
And it's still nothing versus a lot.
I mean, that's how it feels. It's like I guess it's a lot more than a lot. I don't know, like, but you see him. I was like, oh, well, sure, good talk. Um, I don't personally. I've done probably 7 rolls total, and I've gotten one speed roll.
Mm-hmm.
It's been more than that too. Actually, I bet it's been 9 or 10. Actually, I've gotten one speed roll, and it was a +3. And I don't know. I struggle because uh, I feel like they. I don't think they actually did lie, but it feels like that a little bit to me.
It does. It's a very gray area for how they rolled this out. Like it looked like they alluded to the fact that you would take a slice away from a stat and put it elsewhere. And
Mm-hmm.
it turns out you can just put it right back on the stat that you're taking away from. So there's that. And then the fact that you can slice lower is also
Yep.
irritating. Um, I feel like the reason why that's irritating is because even though you're not going to keep it, so technically your mod doesn't get worse, like they said, your mods won't get worse this way, but the cost to slice it again goes up.
Right. Well, yeah, you lose your opportunity. Like I'll spend it on the 15 and on the 25, maybe.
Right. And then after that,
It's got to be something truly special, like some
mhm,
truly fantastic opportunity. Yeah, and it's just like I don't know, like it. And like you said, the drop rate isn't so much that you can't really farm it that well
mhm.
to be able to like unless you want to spend a bunch of crystals or money or whatever. Like you just can't farm it that well. I think I did buy one of the $10 packs.
For them.
Yeah, just
Mhm.
just to see, and it was just 2 rerolls. That's it. You
Yeah.
get 40 of them, and then you get a couple other mats, but whatever. I mean, yeah, I'm not that hyped. Honestly, what it makes me think is that this is just like a little side game for us, and they're like,
Mm.
hey, we're gonna get a little bit more money out of whales before we drop like 7 dot or something.
Mm. Yeah, I could see that. So I don't know. I'm not super hyped by them.
I mean, you kind of weren't hyped by them beforehand either, so
Yeah, but I was anticipating more like going into my mod inventory and tweaking things, and that's not the case.
sure. Yeah, yeah. Overall, like one thing I do like about it is I already spend a lot of time with mods. I kind of like that I don't have to spend much more. It's just I just see it as a reroll or two.
Right.
Like oh, every once in a while I just get a free reroll.
Yeah, and then you can play around with it if you want and figure it out.
I can be about my business.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, I was wrong about that. What else was I wrong about? I wonder.
I'm sure we'll find out. Um, okay. Then the other thing that they said before we get into Jabba is the Relic update, because I think we all kind of assumed that it was going to happen with the title update and whatever. It didn't. All of
Oh, look at this. Misassumptions. Didn't get things right. Okay. Good to know.
well, I mean, so this kind of ties into like even Jabba and Profundity and what they've been doing, but it's kind of just like, why are you saying stuff so early? Like, it's almost like it would have been better if you just hadn't said anything at all about the Relic update and then posted it when you were going to do it. Take exactly what you said about it in whatever it was, the State of the Galaxy, when you first mentioned it in July, and then just post it when you're going to do it for the content update. Be like, yeah, we know this is a crunch, so this is what we're doing. It's effective tomorrow with the content update. Like, done. Then you don't have all of these people here sitting wanting to know why the Relic update hasn't happened yet. Where's the Relic update?
Yeah, so there's a double-edged sword here, though, right? So we've been asking them for communication for months, for years, really. Of like, why can't they just tell us what they're working on? Why can't they just let us know what's happening, what things are going on in the background? Like, I've said that lots of times. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
it would just be nice to know. Like, are they working on something for territory wars? Are they working for something totally new? Are they working on this? And it's like, it's nice to know these things. They're like, hey, everyone, profundity is a long ways off, but they didn't. Everyone's panicking and trying to get it fast. And, same with Grand Inquisitor. Like, hey, guys, Grand Inquisitor is coming in 5 months. But they don't
Right.
say 5 months. I mean, I, and so I don't know. Like, if they just shut up about these things and then they just spring them on us, I could easily imagine both of us saying, like, why didn't they tell us beforehand? If they knew this has been a long time in the works, why couldn't they give us a warning?
Sure. But also maybe just be more clear in your communication.
Right. I mean, they did say just now, like, hey, by the way, this is going to be coming out in the next thing. I mean,
The next
yeah,
update.
yeah, the next update. I don't know. I'm like, I'm there with you. Of like, why did you even tell us? If you're gonna get us all excited, and then we're just not even gonna get it for a long time. Why would you even say it? And at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, I'm like, we want them to tell us things in general.
Sure. Yeah, like I agree with that. I mean, I've said this repeatedly over the years that CG really needs somebody with a communications background as their communications manager.
Hmm.
Like, it's evident that there's no communications background.
We should we should start a go hire me campaign for you.
I think I would not enjoy it.
Oh, well, you might be the hero that we need, though, Sarah.
Moving
The
on.
Not the hero we deserve. The community doesn't deserve. They deserve some good things, but all right, fine, fine. Let's move on. So Jabba, you gonna have him unlocked instantly after he's released?
No,
No.
his requirements aren't even farmable.
Well, some of them are, but so how are you doing with
Three
those requirements?
three of his aren't even. I'm not even looking at his requirements right now. I'm not looking at them until those three marquees are farmable.
Oh, so you're not even gonna start working on them like pre-work at all? Okay.
No, I am working on Inquisitors.
That's fun.
So I'm not going to get distracted and work on Jabba's requirements when I know that I'm not going to get him right away. And he's going to be in the journey guide anyway.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I won't be getting him either.
Yeah. I'm I'm curious. So like, okay, so we got the kit today, and typically when we get the kit, the event starts the week after. Typically, I know that recently they are not following their usual cadence. However, what do you think is going to happen? Because um, 3 of his marquees aren't farmable.
I think that it's just gonna be business as usual, and we're just not gonna get him.
Okay. I'm just curious because in the other 6 Galactic Legends that we've had, all of the marquees have been farmable. Even if they were farmable that day, they were farmable.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they'll give us a Merry Christmas present and put Boosh in Cantina, and we'll be like, no, we need relic levels. Let's complain about relic levels instead of an important character being in Cantina. Like, because that's what they did with Fifth Brother, right? He was the last
Right.
of the Inquisitors to be released, and they made him farmable before the like you could. I had a few free to play friends who got Grand
Yeah.
Inquisitor. Like that was possible. People tell me it wasn't, and I'm like, I have friends who did it, and they're like, well, I don't think it was possible. I'm like, I don't know where we're going with this conversation, but
Mhm. I know people
like,
who did it as well.
yeah, like it was very possible. Like I don't know if I could have planned it out ahead, but free to play people are sometimes very impressive. Uh, and so yeah, I that being said, this is I guess you theoretically could be free to play and get Jabba on day one if you'd hoarded enough crystals to buy all those gamble packs. But
Yeah.
as it stands, I don't have any of the 3 marquees that they're requiring
Hmm.
ready. Like I have been buying some of the shipments for Lando. Otherwise, yeah, Boosh is gamble pack only, and Chrysanthemum should be farmable. If he's not farmable this week, we riot.
Yeah. Maybe he'll be farmable tomorrow when we get. I'm assuming we're getting a content update tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, and we're totally getting the relic change refund, right?
Who knows?
Everyone's
Um,
telling me no, and I think they're right.
yeah, I don't think we're getting a refund either, sadly.
I part of me thinks that we are, though. I've keep thinking. I'm just too optimistic sometimes. It's really grossing
It,
me out.
I mean, it took 3 months. It took 3 months for them to fix their game so that I was able to make purchases, and they didn't want me giving them actual money, and you want them to give you relic materials back?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so we got Jabba's kit today. The first thing I noticed, by the way, was not in his kit. It was just where he was on the screen in their animations, and that he's like not in the typical leader position.
Okay.
Um, which I guess makes sense for like the interface. It's just funny to see,
Yeah, I mean it does make sense though, because otherwise, how do you click on anyone?
right? Yeah, you need him out of the way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I wish that they just had like a little attachment to him for Salacious Crumb, and you could just like add Hoda to him instead or something. Like you just have an attachment character that just I don't know where that came from, but
like a Velcro buddy, just like stick it to him or something.
yeah, that would be cool. I don't know. It's like a little gear piece that you just like click on, and it's just like here, like you could put an Ewok there, or yeah, I don't know. I'm just being dumb, but no. So he's here, and you know, there's all the reaction videos out and everything. Probably not gonna talk like really in depth about his kit. However, he I don't know. He seems pretty interesting, honestly. Like the first thing that I noticed, and you were immediately like, "Well, yeah, I just assumed that was going to be it," but I didn't assume. Is I thought didn't know for sure if he was going to get Omicrons.
Hmm.
I wasn't sure, and uh, because we've never had this is the literally the first character released since Omicrons were
Hmm.
out that doesn't have he doesn't have Omicrons. For the very first character out of all of them,
Hmm.
which I think is a somewhat big deal, and that's why I was like, I don't know. It seems like it would be pretty weird if he had Omicrons, but it seems like that's where the momentum is. Maybe we will.
Right. Yeah, I think it would be weird. I don't know. Like, I just got it into my head that Galactic Legends don't get Omicrons.
Well, I mean, and you're right. They hadn't up till now because the Omicrons hadn't been released.
Hmm.
But I mean, it. We had a long time to think about it and discuss it and stuff. And at first I was like, well, of course they're gonna get them. And then I was like, well, maybe not, maybe not. And at the end of the day, I think that it's gonna be more likely that his Omicrons are more just like the characters who are with him.
Right.
It's like, hey, we want to make him a GAC character. Well, we have Boosh for that.
Right. Right. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it just feels weird for Galactic Legends to get Omicrons, in my opinion. So
Sure.
it just
Oh,
wasn't.
and wait, is Boosh the GAC one? I actually don't know. I
No,
don't
sorry.
remember.
Bush is the raid one.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I was like, I'm pretty sure that was wrong. It's Skiff Lando, isn't it? Oh, no, it's Chrysantin is who it is.
Chrysanthemum, yeah.
Yeah,
I think Skiff Lando was his territory war.
maybe.
I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, I think so.
Um,
I,
yeah, because that's where like his
you,
kit,
you know how I know it's not GAC?
because you don't have it.
Well, no, not that, because I wouldn't have put it on him if he wasn't farmed really. But no, it's because I don't care.
Oh, fair.
It's kind
Um,
of sad.
yeah, but his kit, like, so you have the Omicrons on the characters that he's with, like you're saying, but then his
Right.
kit is also very clearly working in certain game modes more than others. So it's almost like his kit is an Omicron anyway, like the way it
Okay.
reads. Like there's one of his
Sure.
abilities, for example, I can't remember off the top of my head which one it is, so don't quote me, but it reads that um it says something along the lines of at the start of each encounter after the first encounter, which tells you it's a territory battle ability because that's the one where you're going to get multiple waves.
Right.
So, like, it's not specifically put out there as like in territory battles this will happen. It's just phrased in a way that if you understand the verbiage,
Mm-hmm.
then you immediately make the connection to territory battles. Um, so
Right.
it's just things like that that are sticking out about his kit.
No, he is very obviously PVE.
Yeah.
Like there's none of the other kits have been like, oh yeah, when you do this thing in PVE, then this. Like there's nothing like that. Like other characters, sure. Like we even have like way back in the day, what's her name? Aura Singh has a Zeta that's raid only. Which speaking of, I've been thinking about this.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder when we're gonna get a character that we can topple that isn't in a raid. Because
Um.
maybe never, but
Hmm.
because Aura's kit just says when someone's toppled. So I just
Yeah.
keep wondering, like in theory, like General Skywalker's kind of toppled, but then you can't target him. So
Yeah,
I,
that's
I
true.
like Jabba's not the one to target for that, obviously, but it's just been a thing that I was thinking of. But yeah, he's got the thing with raids. I didn't even read this. I didn't even raid this, but yeah, he his contract is fulfilled immediately at the start of battle. I like that he has a contract, and I like that they've been loosening up on contracts to allow like scoundrels and like non-bounty hunter characters to actually be part of contracts sometimes.
Right, because I mean it makes sense when you think of it.
Right. Well, like yeah, they're not letting everyone in. It's not like, oh yeah, rebels can do it. I mean, I guess
Right.
rebels can theoretically, but it's not because they're rebels. It's because like scoundrels got them in the door or whatever.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think it's kind of fun that they've been allowing scoundrels to participate in it, or like in this case, Hut Cartel, which are like specialized scoundrels. They're like, yeah, we're so scoundrelly that we work for the Hut Cartel.
They're the mafia.
Yeah, yeah, and it makes me wonder, when are we gonna get other crime syndicates?
Mm-hmm. It's a good point.
Like we could get like the Pikes pretty easily, I think, or What is it? The Red Dawn or something like that? What's the Kira? What's Kira's group?
Yeah, isn't it Red Dawn?
I don't know. The one that Enfys nest just like punks pretty hard.
I think it's Red Dawn.
Yeah, Red Donkulus.
Ugh, I haven't seen it in so long. I can't remember.
It's fine. Crimson Dawn.
That's the one.
We were being too generic in our
Yeah.
colors.
That's the one. Um, no, that's a good point though. Like when if that would happen, if we would get that.
Honestly, I wouldn't be too surprised if we got a Crimson Dawn, like because we already have Kira. Like I bet that you know you could maybe shoehorn in young Lando or young Han and young Lando and Vander and stuff.
Hmm.
Maybe not. I don't know. I'm just like spewing theories lately, like all kinds of random crap. But I don't know if that's ever been different. But okay, so one of the things that they've really, 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 really been pushing with this kit is thermal detonators.
Hmm.
And I never realized how important thermal detonators like were. I don't know. It's like CG's like, oh, thermal detonators are important, and I'm like, they're like in one scene in all the movies.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why they suddenly care so much about thermal detonators. And if someone has tenacity up, they're like, sorry, no thermal detonators. You're like, oh. Like, could you imagine it? You're like, like make a little like cross sign and, it wards off evil. It's like the same thing. You're like, I have tenacity up, like make some kind of a hand sign. I guess just hold up your hand and they're like, oh, dang it. Everyone hold on to your thermal detonators till his hand goes down.
Gotta wait.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know why they're pushing them so much. I don't know.
Uh,
I feel like maybe thermal detonators are kind of a scoundrelly thing.
sure. I'm honestly fine with it. It's been interesting to me the uptick in because
Hmm.
beforehand it was like, oh well, let's use Jawas. So here's the thing, and then we got to get to the trigger photo. But
Okay.
uh, I want to see how much damage thermals do that are applied by Jabba because every character has different thermal detonator strengths, and it's not actually advertised. It's like some characters apply thermal detonators, then when they explode, they do 30% damage. Some of
Hmm.
them apply and they do 50%. Some of them just do 5%. Like it varies from each character, and I don't know
Hmm.
if it goes as high as 50, but like Jabba's, I would hope the ones that he applies are gonna be disastrous for your opponents because he's a
Right.
galactic legend, but maybe not.
Could you imagine if his are just like, oh, it's just like a little tickle?
Poof. Yeah, it's just like little like Gandalf fireworks. Like they just like explode into butterflies, and
Hmm.
that's it.
They're done.
Yeah,
Uh, that'd be sad.
I know. I just made myself sad. All
Uh,
right, let's go to the trigger photo
and make ourselves
here.
sadder.
Yeah, man. All right. So I'm not gonna go through the whole list this time. Except for the BB one here.
That's sad.
Yep. Okay, so the one I chose this time is it's one of my own making, and it's this the mod calibration thing.
Mhm.
It's me going from flat defense of 25 down to flat defense of 23 on a character where I could get offense for Ray or I could get speed for Ray. And it's like, oh no, actually we just want your flat defense to be down. We think that will be helpful.
And it's not even like this is kind of the worst part of it is some of them it's I don't want to say a significant drop, but like you see like 10 to 20 points or depending what it is, what stat it is and what the role is. Yours dropped like barely to the point that it's almost like you really just
Yeah.
even if you chose to keep it or not, it doesn't even matter. It's like you just wasted the mats. It's like you're like,
Yeah.
here, CG, just take these. I don't want
Well,
them.
like in a way, this is actually in a way better than if it just what if it just rolled the exact same? It's like 25 to 25. Like, thank you for that. Like, thank you for just crumpling up my money and throwing it in the trash can.
I almost
Like,
wish that that had happened because I feel like that would be funnier.
turning it off now. Go to Sarah's channel, folks.